Yeah, hello and welcome to a new video. Yeah, this time it's something else, so to say. Um, yeah, actually, I just intended to to do a really quick video of I don't know, just 3 to 5 minutes or something. Um, and intending to show some game fragment that I actually played, and this is might sound funny, that I actually played against my mobile phone on a train ride. Yeah, sometimes like to kill time to just play quick games versus my iPhone, and sorry, and I just set it. It's a shredder engine, but I just set it on a rather weak level, so to just have some quick games and have some fun. And yeah, somehow in this game it turned out that I had a very nice attacking idea and a nice attacking combination. And the fun thing about this was that when I had played this and thought about um, making a small video of this, I somehow got the nagging feeling that I saw this kind of attacking idea before, and I did a search in my Chessbase mega database, trying to find exactly the same attacking procedure, and well, I didn't find exactly the same. Maybe I did the search wrong or something, but I didn't find exactly the same. But I found a very similar attacking concept in a real tournament game played a couple of years ago. And this is the second game fragment I'd like to show because it's just a fantastic game. And I didn't know this game, of course, and it's, I guess, one of those unknown brilliancies that somehow, yeah, nobody knows about because actually, yeah, the wrong player won this game. Okay, but this is the second part of the video. Okay, let's start out with this fun game against my mobile phone. And we got this position after black's 19th move. It just played the bishop to f6. And okay, this is a decent idea to cover the g7 square. As we can see in this position, white has already put some pieces on really active attacking squares. For instance, the rook. Oops, I didn't intend to do that. For instance, the rook has got the idea on g7. Somehow I keep hitting the wrong button here. g7, of course, and also the bishop is lining up towards g7, and the other rook on d3 is also ready to jump in. So white has some nice attacking potential. So bishop f6 just blocked this diagonal, and I didn't see an instant way to get forward. So I played king h1. Yeah, this game wasn't like me thinking 5 minutes for a move, just playing some quick moves to kill time. So king h1 to get the f pawn going maybe, and get some more attacking force in. And now the phone played bishop h4. Somewhat strange move, but okay, it's not a mega chess computer, it's just a phone. Rook to f3. Wanted to cover f2, and then it played knight to f6, and here I paused for a minute or so and had some interesting idea how to get something here against the black king. So if you from here on, it's actually a forcing win for white. It's completely straightforward. I didn't see it all when I played it, but I saw the basic ideas and checked it afterwards with my real computer here, and it's actually working. So if you want to check for yourself what's coming up now, so you might pause the video and take yourself some time. It's not that easy to work out. If you get some experience in this kind of attacking formations with bishop on b2 and the rooks on third rank, you might find it quicker. But really just stop the video and take yourself some time and think about what white might try here. Okay, I'll continue the video now, so make sure to hit the pause button if you want to look for yourself. So, and I played, first of all, I played g3 here, which forces bishop g5, then h4, completely forced. The bishop is attacked and it has got nothing else than retreat to h6. And now the fun starts. I think the first move is actually, the first move you should consider in such a position, because you need to look at the defending pieces, and well, this is just the first move to think of, but it's the difficult part is to put it all together. So white sacrifices the exchange here to get rid of the knight, and g takes f6. And now the next hit, if you've seen the first one, you might as well seen the second one, knight d5. It's a very, very powerful move, which opens the long diagonal for the bishop. Now it's got the whole way open to the king. So what kind of position, what kind of possibilities are here? Actually, the program took the knight, but let's just look quickly at other possibilities. Black also could have tucked the king in the corner here. Then a strong possibility is just to capture with the knight, threatening all kinds of discoveries, like knight d7, for instance, winning the queen. So black needs to block the diagonal, bishop g7. And now white has a powerful blow again. Very nice looking move, rook d5. The whole idea of this piece sacrifice on d5, the same with the knight sacrifice, is to block the fifth rank and to join in with the queen on h5, for instance. So if black would take now, let's say he takes the rook, then white could simply play queen h5, threatening mate on h7. If black takes, it's the simple mate configuration. So black needs to play h6, and then white has got simple move queen f5, just threatening on h7, and as black has no checks or anything to disturb white, he hits to take here, and then it's just mate next move. Yeah, what else could black do on knight d5? He could try to block the diagonal, of course. Okay, here white would have some simple moves as well to get a great position, but the strongest is queen to g4 check, king h8, queen to f5, now threatening to take with the knight on f6, and then have the mate on h7, bishop g7 to cover f6, and then the very strong move bishop c1, with the idea on any move basically, yeah, well, almost any move, let's say queen c6, just to make a move, then white has to blow bishop h6. If black takes now, then it's all over again after knight takes f6. So white has a crushing attack here. So taking the knight is no mistake, it's a very bad position anyway. Now the check on g4. Of course, simple is this one, just the mate on g7. Nothing black can do. So bishop g5 is the only move. And here I actually missed a better continuation. I played Bishop takes f6 is also a winning move, but far nicer would have been here to take with the rook on d5. Let's say queen takes f2, and then the very nice finishing touch, queen takes g5. For instance, takes is just made in one, very nice, just with the bishop and the rook. And of course, if he steps aside, white also wins with bishop f6 or queen f6. For instance, this one, maybe the nicest one. It's always nice to have these mating patterns. So what you need to remember of this long diagonal bishop, it's very often close to a mate. Knight on e7 is mate, knight on h6 is mate, and a check on the g file is also mate with the rook or the queen. So this is also what led me to discover this, because I saw that I can open up the long diagonal and get a queen to g4, and this is the mating pattern. So bishop g5 it played, and now I didn't play rook d5, which is a quicker win. I played bishop takes f6, and now it's still not possible to do anything really. Queen takes g5 is threatened with mate in 1, so he needs to cover g5 somewhere. And now I just took with the pawn, and I didn't see anything that black can do against the simple queen to the h file, queen h6, queen g7 mate, and basically there is nothing. It's just not as quick as rook d5. Black now played a queen b4, and I was a bit worried if I go to h6 that there might be queen e1 check, queen e4, so I stepped aside with the king first. Black cannot do anything anyway, so b5. A takes b. I just mentioned that here there's also another nice win with g6. Interesting idea, somehow nothing I considered. The idea this is after taking here, it's just the mate, really simple. And after f takes g, oops, I have this check here, and black only has got rook f7, and then the rook drops. Also a nice attacking motif to remember. Okay, this is winning, so queen h6, he is not able to do anything against it. So just a desperado move, and the mate on g7. Yeah, it's a fun little combination, but okay, this is just meant as an appetizer, so to say, for the main show, because the amazing thing is that this this unimportant game against my phone prompted me to search in the database for this kind of attacking combination or mixture of sacrifices, and I didn't find exactly the same, but something that is really close, and it's a tremendous game. It's really a shame that the white player there went astray at some point. I'll show it to you now. Just a second, I need to switch the games. I hope it's working properly. I think it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, this is the position after the 14th move of black. Black just played queen to b6. I need to mention the players, of course. This is a tournament game, so with a long time control from 1994 in an open tournament in France, and the players are the German international master Matthias Röder. Actually, I know him quite well. He's teammate of mine in my Belgium team, and I will ask him about this game when I see him next time. And the black player is Vladimir Ochotnik, I guess a Russian international master. Both players were rated about 2,400 something at the time. Okay, take a look at this position, and you'll notice that there are some similarities. For white, you have the rook on the third rank, similar to my phone game, with possibilities to swing across the third rank. You got the strong bishop lining up, and black, similar to my game, only has got the bishop and the knight as defenders. There's no bishop on g6 or something. And now after queen b6, white really played an amazing concept. He sacrifices queen on f6. Okay, after I think settling from the shock, black took it. Then rook g3 check. And now black really has to play bishop g7. He doesn't have anything else. For instance, if he goes king h8, white has knight d5. This is no surprise anymore after the first game. So there's the strong threat. Bishop takes f6 with a coming checkmate. So bishop g7. Black has got no time to save the queen. Just to show it quickly, if he takes the bishop, white will take here, and bishop g7. And actually, rook takes g7 is completely winning. Let's say black tries to make some space for the king with the h-pawn. Then white even has got the time to play this here and to bring the bishop over with bishop d3, and then the mate pattern would be rook to h7 and rook h8 mate. Let's make a quick example here. If black plays anything, let's say rook e8, then we've got something like this, and those bishop and the rook just win the game for white with the mate. Okay, black can put various pieces in the way, but it's just a devastating attack. So after bishop knight to d5, black needs to play bishop g7, and then white has a nice choice. He can just recapture the queen on b6 for some really weird form of queen trade. But he will of course end up with a really superior position because of the pawn structure. He actually has got even more powerful move here. He can take on g7 even. If you look at this position, you see then that this is just identical to the one I shown before, with a winning attack for white. He takes with the king. White can just take here, king moves somewhere, and then you recapture the queen, and now both rooks are hanging. So white will regain an exchange and end up with a almost winning technical endgame with an extra pawn. Compared to some stuff happening in the game, this might be some of black's best option, but okay, this is not a practical choice because it's impossible to calculate what happens in the game, I think. Okay, he played bishop to g7. It's just the normal move to play. And now white struck the next blow with knight to d5. Yeah, the similarities are very striking between those two games. Of course, this is a different kind of ball game. It's far more difficult, the variations to consider. Actually, I was also looking here at another move. I don't want to show everything here because it would take really a long time. I'll post the game, of course, in the description, so you've got the chance to look at it yourself. Another interesting move here, besides knight d5, which is the strongest one, he played the strongest move, but another interesting possibility is the somewhat counterintuitive maybe knight a4. it looks somewhat strange to put the knight on the edge of the board, of course, after you just sacrificed the queen for just one minor piece. But still, it's interesting to consider. I think it's also close to winning for white, but knight d5 is just stronger. I just show one point here. Of course, black wants to save the queen. White takes on f6, and he will get the second piece for the queen, and will continue to have a really strong attack. But this is not completely forced, maybe. So it would take some really deep analysis to prove if white is winning here, or if it is just, let's say, a clear advantage. Knight a4 is also a really good move, which might win the game, but it's not easy. If you got some time on your hand, try to go through these lines as well. Maybe also with the help of a computer to check what you're thinking yourself, because it's terribly complicated. But okay, he played knight d5, and this is the strongest move, and it's also winning, but not easy. Okay, black took it. What else could he do? And bishop f6. Note that white now is a complete whole queen down. But of course, it is a strong attack, and white's main idea, of course, are mating nets. So black's best move here, and he played the best move, is king f8, anticipating the capture on g7. White now took with the rook, and now we see the kind of mate white is after. He wants to play just rook takes h7, or rook to h7 and rook h8 mate. And the somewhat congested formation of black's pieces with the bishop on d7, rook on d8 makes it really difficult for him to get out of this somewhere. He also doesn't have great squares for his pieces. For instance, the bishop on d7, it doesn't have a really it doesn't have a great place to go, and it also just blocks this square on d7. So black's best defense now is bishop to e6, which he played also. If you just have a quick look what happens if black does a nothing move, let's say he moves the rook away, then this is already checkmate, because d7 is just the final nail in the coffin that takes away the d7 square. Checkmate on h8. So black needs to move, in this position, the bishop, and it doesn't have anything else than go to e6. Note that, let's say, bishop c6 wouldn't help, because then this bishop comes in and takes the d7 square, with really a great picture here, with the two bishops and the rook doing the job. The c1 rook is just a spectator here. White is doing this mating attack just with the bishop pair and the strong rook on the 7th. So black needs to play bishop e6. There's no other move. And at this point, white, I think, made things a little bit more difficult than necessary. He could have won here with rook takes h7. He played c takes d5, but still conserves a large advantage, maybe even a winning one. But rook takes h7 was stronger. Let's have a look. Rook takes h7. King to e8 is the only move. And now just c takes d5. Yeah, this position where white has really just a minor piece. He's just got this bishop on f6, and of course the strong activity and everything, but from a material point of view, it's got just one bishop on f6, and okay, now it's 2 or 3 pawns, but this is a completely winning position, as white simply threatens to take on e6 and then crashes through. The best defense now is rook dc8, trying to get a counter attack on the back rank here. The rook on c1 is hanging, but let's just have a quick look what happens if black tries to get out with a king maybe. Then white just takes here, king takes, and then the really murderous rook h6. Simply a killing move. White threatening to discovers check with the bishop, also capturing d8 of course, so there's a threat bishop d4 and d8, so to say, on the queen, so black cannot save both the rook, the queen and everything else, so he loses a huge amount of material here. White already has got 2 bishops now for the queen, and he will win at least the rook now, so it's completely winning. So let's check rook dc8. And now, and I think this was maybe the problem here for the white player, what he missed. That here white needs to just make a rook move, of course. Rook c1 just needs to move. And he needs to just do a small sidestep, and this is decisive. Maybe he was distracted by some strange possibilities. The strongest, relatively strongest move for black now is bishop to h3. I'm not sure if he saw a ghost there or what he missed in these variations. The key point here is that white also has got this attacking idea, and this is really winning. Black can start a counter attack on f2, and white can just cover this. And now, for instance, king d7. There's nothing better, and white wins the rook here with an ongoing attack. Still bishop e8 threatened, mate in 2 moves. Bishop e8, king c7, bishop d8 mate. Fantastic picture. So black only has got this one. Just to show the mate. If black makes a nothing move here, white mates like this. It's just beautiful. So black needs to drop back the rook, and now white can simply exchange here and take the bishop. It's got a rook, 2 bishops and 4 extra pawns, completely winning. And maybe it's still a strong attack, and well, from a material point of view it's utterly winning. Maybe it would even be winning without the rook or something. Just the bishops and the pawns, just completely over. So maybe he didn't really appreciate that he just needed to make a rook move here. In fact, the strongest move here, rook d1, is just the human move. The strongest one is rook f1, shown by the computer, and this is even more killing than the other line, because it sort of anticipates black's counterplay with rook c2 and covers f2. It's well, it's a computer move. It's not human to see this, I guess. So with the point, if black now tries to make the counter attack, then this is already a forced checkmate. Rook h8 is the threat here. Black doesn't have any king moves, so besides some desperado sacrifices on f2 or something, he has to take this here, and this is checkmate. Very nice. The rook and the bishop doing a great job here. So black cannot do something active, and he's reduced to well, moves like, let's say rook c5, and then white just takes here and continues to attack with bishop e6, rook h8, the threat. It's just deadly. The rook was on the 5th rank to block the check here. So what shall black do? White is just threatening rook, of course bishop e6, also e5. It's just terrible, so black needs to do some silly blocking move here, after which white can just take and win the rook with just a huge amount of extra material. But unfortunately in the game, just to remind you, this is the game position, white should have taken on h7, but unfortunately it took with the pawn here. And the difference is, the fun thing, it is still very good for white, but it's just much more difficult. The difference is now black's got this tempo here, and there's simply the pair of moves rook h7 and king e8 are not inserted here. It's the same position, but white, if white would have the chance here, which he doesn't have it because rook c1 is threatened, to insert rook h7, king e8, we've got a transposition. But now the rook c1 is hanging, and here white missed the best move. He played rook c4. Believe it or not, this is still probably okay for white. He's a queen down, yeah. It's still okay, but the strongest move here would have been again rook d1, and this can easily lead to a transposition. If black now, for instance, plays king e8, we would probably go to a very similar position at the one we examined before. In fact, black has only one move here, which doesn't lose instantly. Let's just check quickly. This queen e8 is the move. But let's say what would happen if black tries to play king e8, for instance. Then d6 is winning. Rook takes h7. h7 would also win. It's a transposition to the one we got before. But this is even quicker. Rook g8 threatened. And here black just got steamrolled by the bishops and the rook. It's just great. So black needs to play the somewhat sorry move queen d8, and now it's the simplest to just grab the queen. Yeah, and after this sequence of moves, white will pick up d6, the next move, and he will have 3 pawns for the exchange, and still a brilliant position with strong bishops. Just imagine the bishop, let's say a6, black doesn't have a decent move anyway, bishop d6. Just imagine the bishop going to d4 at some point, would be a brilliant position. Both bishops on d3 and d4 would control the possible entry squares on the c-file, and white would be yeah, very much still in the driving seat. Still a large advantage, probably winning. It's not a great mate or something, but still I think white would have great winning chances here. He played a rook c4. Of course you don't know from just looking at the game how the clock situation was, so maybe white already was in time trouble. I guess it's murderous to play such stuff over the board. Okay, black now exchange on c4, bishop c4, and what you always have to keep in mind, white has just a bishop and 2 pawns at the moment for the queen. And now black played bishop f5, which is the fighting move actually. If he would have retreated the bishop, let's say bishop c8, then white has huge chances to make a draw by a perpetual. Very funny perpetual coming up. King e8. Then strong move, bishop e2. The idea is to play rook h8 and then bishop to g4. The switching of diagonals. Black needs to play this one. So all only moves. And now very funny, bishop d8 check, king b8, and bishop g5. And now with rook c8 threatened, black's only move is king c7, bishop d8 check, and we got a draw by perpetual, or by repetition of moves. Would have been, well, maybe yeah, a nice outcome of the game, at least giving white a draw. But he played bishop f5, it's a fighting option. White took this and rook e8. This was the idea, to get the rook into the game and maybe try to get some sort of counter attack on e1 or maybe e2 in some lines where the bishop has moved on c4. And now unfortunately white made the losing move. It's still possible to get an unclear position, maybe a drawn position. It's impossible to analyze, I think. He played g4 now, which is understandable to get some room for the king. But this has a huge drawback, which we saw immediately, which we will see immediately. He had to play g3 here, and let's say rook e1 check. I think this is logical to get this rook into the game. And then there are many possibilities to end the game in some sort of perpetual or maybe repetitions. Let's say just a sample line, king e8. The computer actually gives all this as 0, 0, 0. So probably it sees all the perpetuals and so on. I cannot show them all here. Just to give a sample line. Black playing king e8, rook g8 check, king d7, and then rook f8. So h5, rook takes, king e8, rook h7. White still has a strong initiative here with the rook on the sevens and the bishops. For instance, something like this would be one of the perpetuals I mentioned. Black cannot escape here from all these checks, or he will lose more material. So g3 would probably, not sure, lead to a draw. At least white would be able to fight on, and I think he's got huge chances of getting one of those repetitions in. White unfortunately played g4, and I think maybe he overlooked rook e4, and this is really really strong. The problem here is that white, in order to get something going against the king, really needs to play a rook takes h7, but then g4 falls, and everything else is answered. Well, let's just have a quick look what happened in the game. White played king g2, and then rook f4 and resigns, as f2 is just falling. Yeah, set end to this great game. White had to play rook takes h7, but then after rook g4 check, king f1, and then some move, let's say queen a5. Don't want to analyze this too deeply. It's not as interesting as the lines before. Then black will get huge counterplay against the king. Still there are fighting chances, of course, but most probably black will win. Let's say rook h8, rook g8, check here, king g7, and then something like this. Black will most likely get out of the worst here, because the rook is not on the 7th anymore, and he has got some counter threats on his own against a2 maybe, or just get the queen in and give a couple of checks. Black is better here. White could fight, but black is better. Unfortunately, as I already showed briefly, I played king g2, and after rook f4 resigned. Maybe it's very likely that there was huge time trouble involved, which is of course no surprise, considering the very complicated nature of the game. Just want to go quickly to the main points here. Yeah, so the arrows are still in there. So really white unleashes the power of the bishop on b2 and the rook on the 3rd rank with this nice combination of sacrifices, and gets on the 7th rank with the rook combined with the bishop on f6. And he could have crowned his great preparatory work here with rook takes h7, which would have won. I didn't show all the lines I had a look at, because I already suspected this video would get rather long. We're past the 40-minute mark now. So if you are interested, just check out the PGN file, the PGN copy that I'll post in the description, and have a look at yourself. There are really great variations in this game. Also, it's maybe not interesting from technical point of view, because knight d5 was strong and good. The variations after knight a4 are also interesting. I only showed the tip of the iceberg there. Yeah, this was I think a fun video with the great attacking game, and it's very unfortunate that that white wasn't able to win it actually. There, I think maybe a lot of games which feature brilliant concepts by one player, but unfortunately at some point they missed the right continuation, or got into time trouble and somehow spoiled it, and so maybe those games are never really published, or simply forgotten after time. And I only found this great game by coincidence, because I played this this silly game against the telephone, and found those kind of attacking scheme, and dug it up in the database. So there's always beautiful things to discover in chess. Yeah, okay, thanks for watching the video. Make sure to leave questions or comments here, and also think of subscribing to the channel. It's free, there's no obligation involved, but you'll get informed when new videos are uploaded. Yeah, thanks for watching, and see you soon.